Objectively speaking, they have far more opportunities and resources than any previous generation in history. Yet, a growing mental health crisis looms, rooted in unrealistic expectations of themselves. I'm Elvira, a writer, philosopher, and teacher. Today, we'll explore how to reset those expectations. An anxiety afflicting Generation Z stems from us, their parents. We grew up during the emergence of the internet and the dismantling of many social constraints. As a result, many of us made breakthroughs our predecessors couldn't even imagine. Previous generations lived by necessity, not desire. The freedom to choose started with us, and we use it to elevate our lives to new heights. In a sense, we started from scratch, though that's not entirely true, and our children grew up hearing those stories. Now, let's put ourselves in the shoes of a Gen Z individual. They were likely never spanked, and even if their safety and well-being weren't always meticulously maintained, it was at least a priority. Every trophy was laid at their feet, and high hopes were pinned on them. With few or no siblings, the family's attention was squarely on them. Even if explicit demands for extraordinary achievements weren't made, they were certainly implied. After all, shouldn't they prove that their parents' efforts weren't in vain? On top of that, social media constantly bombards Gen Z with success stories. These stories are supposed to inspire. If I can do it, so can you. But in reality, they clip the wings of those who can see a path or feel strong enough to follow on. Worse yet, some personality types simply don't care about grand achievements. Young people face three simultaneous pressures. First, teens are wired to separate from their parents and stop listening to them. But given the current cost of living and the qualifications required for entry-level jobs, physical separation is often impossible. This unmet need creates deep subconscious discomfort. Second, if a teen's personality type dictates one thing, but society demands something entirely different, a breaking point will occur. Young people constantly compare themselves with others. They see their parents, who've risen from nothing to success, confident, strong, and decisive, and assume they've always been that way. But what about them? They fall short. When Generation Z hears these stories of success, it appears as though the road to achievement was a straight line. First, I got into this school, then I overcame this obstacle, then I landed this job. But the reality was far more complicated. Stories of doubts, mistakes, and wasted resources are often left out. As a result, unrealistic expectations form along with the shame of not living up to them. To fix this, we need to redefine success and manage our expectations. Maintaining mental health means constantly organizing these aspects of our lives, which is why spiritual growth is so important. The first essential step is defining yourself clearly. A person is not defined by success or status, but by their interests and fears. On my website, elvirabarry.com, you'll find a quiz that helps you understand who you truly are and why certain qualities form the foundation of your personality. The link is in the description below. The next step is realizing your unique path. Instinctively, we want to imitate others and achieve the same level of success to prove I am just as good as you, I can do it too. I'll explain why this happens in future videos, so be sure to subscribe to my channel. Mindless imitation is a surefire way to destroy your true self. A person's goals must align not with what's trendy, prestigious, or what their parents or social media friends are doing, but with what resonates with their personality type and purpose. A fulfilled life comes from knowing who you are, recognizing your value, and pursuing goals that matter to you. When this alignment happens, a realistic worldview and reasonable expectations follow. Here is an example. Andrew, 19, is the only child of a loving family. He grew up in comfort, never knew hardship, and was given everything he could ever dream of. His parents are highly successful, intelligent, and talented people with abilities well above average. With their guidance, Andrew got into a prestigious university, but his grades were less than stellar. He worked hard but couldn't achieve excellence. Seeing his parents' disappointment was unbearable. His father couldn't understand why Andrew was struggling with basic things, and his mother wondered how to boost his motivation and perseverance. Listening to their advice, Andrew began to hate himself. They had given him every chance, secured his future, yet he was squandering it all. The real source of his misery wasn't low self-esteem or incompetence, but an unrealistic story he was telling himself. Andrew failed to recognize that his father, his long-life role model, hadn't attended an elite university with a challenging program. His father studied at a provincial college in a new field with far lower standards. 20 years ago, there was no social media, and his dad didn't torment himself by constantly comparing himself to Steve Jobs or other stars. Andrew's father was fulfilling his purpose, but Andrew's path is his own. The world won't fall apart if Andrew admits that his own desires and needs matter too. However, his mental health may crumble if he doesn't shed the destructive stories poisoning his life. The best thing Andrew can do is adopt the following mindset. I'm not here to impress others or give them what they are missing. I accept myself as I am, and I understand why I'm this way. I have the right to make mistakes. My task is to realize my potential, what I've naturally been given. If someone doesn't like that, I'll listen to their opinion, but my life is about how I move forward to my goals in my circumstances, not about fulfilling someone else's expectations. That's all for today. Subscribe and we'll continue exploring modern spirituality and how it helps us live better lives.